With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Taken in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They're on 20-yard line. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 23. Open space inside the 10. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pick up there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
Sheldon Rankins on the
sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From midfield now, Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Justin Jackson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
In punt formation.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Number 30.
4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And he'll be out right at the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
On the play. First down, New England.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score, Patriots 7, Bengals nothing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll toss this right side to Singletary. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 2nd down. Newton, Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And it's caught. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And goal to go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2.
At 7. Boswell set to kick off.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Newton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake, and it's Newton.
They'll find his tight end here, Asiasi.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
3 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, Singletary. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Ball carrier.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 35 on second down, Newton. That's complete right side to Gabriel. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Complete to Taylor Gabriel.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Complete.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
A gain of 3 on the play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And some room to maneuver. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Devin Singletary with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
Jason Myers.
And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark it down at the 49. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there at 22.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
First down. Here's Burrow. Open man is Ross, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 18.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
Burrow will throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now a timeout.
3rd down and 4.
7 seconds left in the first half. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Ricky.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Bengals with work to do in this 3rd quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Burrow going deep downfield for Ross. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Singletary again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ready?
They go right back to Singletary. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Newton. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll be taken down shy of the 25 that he needed. He'll be a yard or 2 short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Out is Myers for the Seahawk field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Fulton, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They run the counter. Fulton, he'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Again, the ball carrier.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2nd down and 8.
Now it's Burrow. Flushed out right. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Gain on the play.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Forced out to his left. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal. A 19-yard attempt.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Boswell set to kick off.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Operating from the gun, Newton. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. As he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, 4th quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, he spent time in the film room and they worked on his mechanics. Sometimes it's just your team believing in you, your coaching staff believing in you, and you relax and play to your potential. He's doing that in this game.
And he stopped immediately there. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
3rd down.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got Burton here. And he's got Roan. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Got an open man, it's Foster. He can only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On 2nd down now, Fulton. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yard pickup brings up 3rd and
8. Now it's Burrow. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Let's go. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Let's go, baby. Turn over. Let's get that ball.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Singletary to get the drive started. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
The ball carrier.
Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Singletary. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
3rd down.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Patriots send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line.
At their own 42-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
41-yard line.
He's back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in which you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They had 2 straight first downs. Now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
At the 12-yard line.
He's got it. And he's brought down.
That's another.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Boswell for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th.
Ties the game at 17. Chris Boswell set to kick off.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And this will make it into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Newton. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
A 4th quarter score from the Meadowlands. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Newton.
Open man is Asiasi, the tight end.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Ready?
From the 50, Newton. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Oh, he almost almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give them another shot on third down.
It's third down and 10 yards to go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Right there, 54.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Now time to see what Burrow can do here at OT. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Push him back. Right there, 54, right there, right there.
Here's Burrow. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2nd and 10.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Let's make these babies cry. 19 tight, 19 tight. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Bring it.
Burrow will throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Out to the left here to Reed. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. That catch good for only a couple. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. On second down, Burrow. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 39. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Now they go screen. It's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
Number 34.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Cincinnati, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.